ladies and gentlemen, forecaster Christian Winn at Storm Channel, and this is your tropical update for Endless 92L. And here it is. Here's the current loop of the latest satellite pictures. The convection, as you can see, is here on the east side of the storm, while the center is more in here. So there's definitely some issues right now with all the convection being displaced on the eastern side of the storm, and with no convection on the western side. Until we can get convection on the western side, until that time, that will preclude tropical cyclone formation. However, what I have noticed here in the last few frames is here in this area, a new blob of showers and thunderstorms have been forming. And also, around the center here, it looks like there's some showers and isolated thunderstorms that they're possibly trying to develop on the western side of the circulation. Once that does happen, that would greatly increase the chances of tropical cyclone formation for this storm. Here again is another picture of the still satellite imagery, and what we're going to show you is the computer model tracks, what they're looking like at this time. Some of the computer models, again, here's our center of circulation right in this general area. Some of the latest computer models are trying to take this up towards Texas, and then some of them try to take it up and towards Louisiana and Texas border, and then try to curve it northwest into more of central and northern Texas. And also we still have those other computer models that are going to far south Texas and Mexico. At this time, it's really hard to tell which one of these scenarios are going to pan out. Yesterday, Mexico was more of the track locations that the computer models were trending to, and so far this morning and this afternoon, some more of the reliable computer models have shifted more to Texas and Louisiana. We're going to continue to watch this. Either way, the Gulf Coast and possibly some inland areas are going to experience some very heavy thunderstorm activity with up to 7 inches of rain falling in some of these areas, with the latest Weather Prediction Center, NOAA's Weather Prediction Center forecast showing around 7 inches of rain in portions of the Gulf Coast, but the track just remains uncertain. Winds will not be extremely dangerous as of now with this storm. It looks like it's going to top out at if it does develop, it's going to top out at a minimum tropical storm, and the highest I expect it to get, at least for now, based on today's computer models, it would be a mid-grade tropical storm with winds of 50 miles an hour. Here's the latest GEM, or Canadian model, the 12Z run. We're going to advance this out to 42 hours, and as you can see, our upper level low in the Gulf of Mexico is east and south of Texas and Mexico, and it's on a northward track at that time. And as we advance this again to 48 hours, it continues its northern track towards the Louisiana coast as a 1006 millibar low. That's typically indicative of a very, very weak tropical storm. As we continue to advance the frame, as you can see, the Canadian wants to strengthen this storm as it approaches the U.S. Gulf Coast. It actually brings it to 1001 millibars, which is a mid-grade or high tropical storm. The Canadian model, however, is known to overestimate the strength of tropical cyclones. The track, it's uncertain with the Canadian model, but the track and intensity is usually not as good with the Canadian model, but we still use it because any track is always possible with any tropical cyclone. So as we continue to advance the frame, the Canadian model actually shows a landfall right along the Louisiana and Texas border. And here's what I'm talking about, the heavy rainfall activity. This is 12 accumulated rainfall, and that is 2 to 2.5 inches every 6 hours, and that's going to last probably for 12 hours or so. So that's why we're concerned about flooding wherever the tropical cyclone does make landfall. As we continue to advance the frame, this is 90 hours. That low scoots off to the northwest and moves into the central part of Texas, and that would bring heavy rain to areas like Waco and Dallas-Fort Worth. Dallas-Fort Worth area, North Texas, would be impacted by this low as well, and southern Oklahoma also could get some heavy rain out of this if the Canadian model were to verify. So that's one of the computer models. Now we're going to go over to the North American model, or the NAM. It's usually used for severe weather, but we're still going to take a look at it for the tropical forecast. So here we're going to advance it out to 36 hours. You can see our tropical cyclone is in this area in here with a 1004 millibar low, which would be a mid-grade tropical storm. And as we continue to advance the frame out to 54 hours, it shows a landfall in the central Louisiana area as a mid-grade tropical storm. And as we continue to advance the frame out, it also wants to curve the cyclone to the northwest. However, by 84 hours, it's already dissipated and is just some rainfall activity with no winds or anything. As the statistical dynamical 18Z computer model runs, and as you can see, this is how uncertain our forecast is. The latest tracks range all the way from northern Mexico to eastern Louisiana. Now, eastern Louisiana, I think that track is out. The computer models have been shifting to the west, and it looks like the computer models are trying to cluster from northern Mexico to the western Louisiana coastline. This is where I think that we will see a landfall somewhere in this area. Right now, I am not putting out a prediction of where the landfall is going to occur. There's just too much uncertainty at this time, and I'm not even going to bother with a track forecast or anything like that. It's just way too far out, and with too much uncertainty, it would probably not be very accurate. So here's the latest Storm Channel tropical weather outlook for the Atlantic Basin. I just wanted to cover this real quick. This is Erin out here in the Atlantic Basin. It has lost a lot of its thunderstorm activity, and the circulation has become a lot less organized, and the Hurricane Center has downgraded Erin to a tropical depression. Right now, we're not expecting this to be a threat to any land areas, but we will continue to watch it as it moves west-northwest or west. Now back to 92L. As I put in the discussion, the area of low pressure associated with the thunderstorm activity has moved off the Yucatan Peninsula and into the Gulf of Mexico. The thunderstorms, as talked about earlier in this video, are displaced on the eastern semicircle of the circulation and upper level winds. And this is what is very catchy as well. If the cyclone was to take a more northern track, and then like the Canadian model and the North American model, then go this way, upper level winds will be a lot less favorable for additional development, and only slow development is likely. However, if the track goes west or west-northwest, the upper level wind environment is going to be a lot more favorable for development. So, as that being said, the Hurricane Center has canceled the Air Force reconnaissance mission for today and has rescheduled 2 planes to go into NFS 92L tomorrow. And I decided to increase the chances of tropical cyclone development out of this storm to 70% in the next 48 hours and 70% in the next 5 days. I was tempted to go a little higher, but I'm not certain on which track this area is going to take. If it does take the west-northwest track, and we start to see that soon in the computer models, then we will have to increase the chances of tropical cyclone development. However, if it takes that more northern track and then northwest once it's inland, then we will have to keep the current probabilities at 70%. So this forecast is very, very complicated, and we'll continue to keep you guys updated on everything. Next video discussion, we'll try to have another one out by tomorrow, and the next tropical weather outlook will be issued by 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this evening. I'm Christian Winn. Thanks for joining and watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and good day to all of you.